What's up, Gemini? I'm Chris. Welcome to the house. Now guys, if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button, share with all your friends, like, comment, all that good stuff. Also in the description below, you'll find a link to my website where you can book private readings, donate to the channel, as well as I have a link there for my brand new House of Light and Shadow Instagram account. Lots of witchy stuff, tarot stuff, fun stuff, readings and stuff will be there, so please go ahead and give me a follow. Gemini. Okay, so I'm really excited for this reading, of course, because I'm a Gemini, and you know, as a reader, sometimes it's hard to read yourself. I've gotten better at it, but it's hard to read yourself, so this is kind of like, I need to know what's going to happen. Gemini, coming into this, I'm feeling very strongly like we're about to enter Virgo season, our sister sign. All that mercurial energy has straightened itself the fuck out since last month. I'm sorry, I try not to swear, but straightened itself out. We got Jupiter going direct. It just feels like blessings on blessings on blessings are coming our way now. And Gemini, you know, like, we're usually the mirrors, right? We're usually able to, like, we always want to tell other people about themselves, right? Bounce that shit back at people. And this month, I feel like we have a unique opportunity to sort of see ourselves from our outside, right? To sort of get perspective on who we are. I feel like this is a big month of strategizing, of our mental processes being just like on fleek. I don't know if people say on fleek anymore, but just being on overdrive. Like, we're smart, we're thinking, we're intuitive, we're planning, we're sort of coming up with a lot of good ideas, but also following through on them on ways that work. Central situation for the month of September, Gemini, is the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So this is what I'm saying about we're getting comfortable with change, and we're also able to like put ourselves out there in a new way. We're taking risks. We're not feeling totally like bogged down anymore. I feel like there's a lightheartedness to Gemini this month. Like we are signature. We are the signature sign of lightheartedness, but when things get kind of heavy for us, when they get hard, we get sort of like sink into ourselves. And this came up for the Virgo reading, right? A sign that's very into beauty and love, but when it's hard, they have a hard time seeing those things, right? That's where like the pettiness comes out and all that kind of thing. For Gemini, I think we've been having a hard time, so we haven't been feeling our best, our most lighthearted self. And now I think this month is a month where we return to that. Here with the Four of Pentacles in reverse in the middle of the reading, we're sort of okay with change. We're okay with how things are moving. We're okay with the idea, I think, that we're not totally where we want to be right now, because I think we see newness on the horizon. We're seeing, we're breaking free of comfort. We're breaking free of not taking risks. I think September is a month where we start to put ourselves out there, Gemini, where we start to take risks, where we start to say, like, this is what we're about. And this is what we want, and like putting ourselves out there. I feel like things like job interviews, like new kinds of content that you might be producing. There's just that feeling of breaking free, of sort of insisting on, you know, not letting the changeable nature of life get the best of us, but instead going along for the ride, right? Virgo's a mutable sign. We're transitioning from summer into fall. And as we do so, we sort of have to collect ourselves. But we collect ourselves, Gemini, because we're going out there. We're doing it. We're putting ourselves out there. In our ideals, Gemini, is the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, tired of waiting, tired of like the humdrum of life. So far we have two cards here, Pentacles in reverse. So I think we're really taking a look at our finances. We're really taking a look at our money, which is perfect because now we have Mars in Virgo as well as Venus in Virgo. Tomorrow the Sun will go in Virgo from when I'm recording this. And now we like really start to hustle. This is what I mean about putting ourselves out there. I think like Gemini, we've been kind of playing it safe, and playing it safe has not been working, right? Playing it like sticking to the way things have been is not working. So now we're just like, fuck it, what do we have to lose? We're gonna try, we're gonna put ourselves out there, we're gonna do things differently this month. Because we want to reap the rewards of what we've been working on. Because we're tired of waiting. We're tired of putting it off. We're tired of telling ourselves that it's just around the corner. September is a month where we actually like get down to business and we start to not say next next year, next month, putting it off, right? We're doing it now. We're taking action now. I feel like we're like right now, Gemini, if there are opportunities that come your way, we're just doing it now. We're not thinking, we're not saying, oh, we're not ready for that. We're ready for it. We're ready for bigger things in our lives. We're ready for change. We're ready for dramatic change. We're ready for radical change. We're ready for, like, by the end of September, our lives looking like completely different in certain ways. Here in our past, we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. So, Gemini, a lot of reversals to start out the reading. We've been in a place of internalization, right? So, like, the last few months, we've been, like, collecting ourselves. We've been processing what's been happening to us. We've been figuring things out. We've been figuring out where we were. And the Queen of Wands in reverse, Gemini, tells us that our creativity has not been, like, fire. Right? We have not been doing our best. We have not been putting ourselves out there. We've not been trying. I think this month is a month, Gemini, where we start to feel the mojo again, where we start to feel we start to feel the mojo again. We start to get creative again. We start to, like, take up new projects. We start to, like, be ambitious again. This is a sign, like, both of these cards here, the way this is coming up, are like signs of things that should be comfortable and safe and secure. But we haven't been feeling that way. We've been feeling out of sorts. The Queen of Wands should be confident, self-assured, right? But here she's kind of, like, been insecure. She's kind of been, like, not knowing herself. She's kind of been a little worried. Like, the feeling here, Gemini, is that we're coming out of a period of extreme worry. Worry about our finances, worry about our careers and the direction we've been going in. And I think the reason we're coming out of those, what's going to happen rather, as we come out of those places, is that we start to do, right? We start to act. We start to create. We start to send out those job applications, right? Because the job we've been having isn't paying well enough. We start to, if you're a single person, you start to date, you start to flirt again, right? You start to put yourself out there in a new way. I think that Leo season energy was so intense. Those eclipses, those retrogrades were just so intense. And now, like, we're on our feet again, right? And now we're optimistic again. Now we're seeing the future again. See what I mean, Gemini? Now the Hangman, we've been in a place where we felt stuck, where we felt like we don't know which way is up. We don't know, like, but do you see the thing with the Hangman is that we always think about it as stuck, but this is also somebody who's been processing on the inside. The Hangman is in a trance. He's in an altered state of consciousness. He's been figuring things out. He's been getting closer to who he is. And the suffering, Gemini, that's what I want to say here too. If there's been suffering, if there's been hardships, like an unusual amount, right? Because we did have Jupiter retrograde from April to just recently, to, I was going to say July, to the beginning of August. It's been retrograde, so luck has not been on our side. Things have not been working out the way we want them to. Now with it direct, we're not in this place anymore. But keep in mind, Gemini, that we've learned a lot. We've learned about who we are. Like when you have something like threatened to be taken away, you sort of have to figure out now, like, how much it means to you, right? Is it important for me to stay here? Is this job important? Is what I'm pursuing important? Is this relationship important? And what we've been doing, Gemini, is connecting to the things that are important. When I said lightheartedness in the beginning of the reading, there's a sense of now, Gemini, with this, like, right, like reconnecting to simple pleasures, reconnecting to simple things that were enjoyable, that brought bliss, that brought pleasure. I feel, Gemini, this month connecting to things that you loved when you were younger, when you were freer, when you were less bogged down by the pressures and responsibilities of life. I feel like now, Gemini, we're connecting to those things again, and that's why the lightheartedness comes from. That's where the childlike pleasure of joy starts to return. Because we connect to the things that were joyful for us as children, that were so pure, that were so honest. You know, the hobbies that we had that maybe we gave up on, the dreams that we had that we told ourselves were you know, not serious enough. We connect to those things now, and in doing that, we find this like this Queen of Wands. Now she turns upright. Now we start to feel sexy. Now we start to feel confident. Now we start to feel like we deserve a lot. Now we start to also change our physical environment. We start to improve the material things in our life. Our homes start to look better and start to feel more comfortable. Our bank accounts start to improve, right? We find more opportunities. Last bit of the past here, Gemini, we have the Tower in reverse. So what am I saying here about connecting to what was true? Connecting to what was honest? The Tower coming up in reverse says that we've kind of done the work, right? This isn't the cataclysmic fall anymore. This is now, we're coming back to power. We had that fall. You know, in the Tower, we always talk about the way that the truth kind of shakes foundations, right? And it shakes things that are not real or that are not honest. And the implication there is that when all that falls away, now we're left with a clean surface where we can build in a way that's honest and true. Coming up like this, Gemini, what it's saying to me is that we're building on that foundation now. We've been shaken loose. We've had the epiphanies. We've had the moments of saying, what am I doing here? Why am I still doing this? Why am I still in this place? Why am I still in this job? Why am I still in this, whatever it is for you, or your relationship, right? Whatever it was, we're like, why? Why are we doing this to ourselves anymore? And now coming into September, Gemini, we ain't doing those things no more. We're not. We've been through it enough. We've suffered enough. We spent enough time here hanging upside down, like looking like this guy. Like, look at that face. Like, oh. Gemini, I'm sure there's a lot of us watching this reading right now can relate to the feeling of that face. That face has been the past few months for us. That face has been like what we've been feeling like and what we've been experiencing, what we've been going through. Thank fucking God. Excuse my French again. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to swear, but I get excited. I'm a Gemini. Sometimes it's just like that. I can't help it. Using astrology as an excuse to. But seriously, guys, like when I look at this, you know what, this is also with Mars rules the Tower, right? And with Mars coming into Venus, Mars coming to Virgo, we get more serious, we get more practical. Again, that sense of things being built, this is what's happening. We're building now. We're taking all this energy of this crazy, wild energy, and now we're building. Now we're looking at things practically. We're saying our money has not been working. What do we need to change? This job is not paying me enough. What do I need to change? I haven't been putting all of myself into my projects and the things that I love and my passions. How do I now do that? And again, in a way that reinvigorates me, in a way that makes me feel excited about life. You see, in our turning point, Gemini, we have the Emperor in reverse. Sometimes when this many reversals come up, I have to be like, oh, it's the deck all, it's the whole thing in reverse. But seriously, this is what's been pushing us. It's like we know we're great. We know we have so much to offer. We know our power. We know like our skill, our talents. We know what we have to offer, Gemini. And like with the Emperor in reverse, we haven't been living that way, and we're tired. We want to be like, yo, like honestly, guys, this is us. This is who we are. This is who we really are. And look, I kind of like this interesting interplay, what I talked about with Jupiter in retrograde since Aries season. Here we have Aries and Mars, right? So now we find our power this month. Now we're insistent on having power. Now we're insistent on not being like second best. We're insistent on our standards. We're insistent on knowing like my boyfriend saw like my jeans were getting torn, right? Because I got a little thick in the thighs the past few months. Again, another Jupiter retrograde thing, right? Like, getting bigger. You know, Jupiter is a planet of expansion, and when it's like aspected like that, we can get a little fat. So I got a little juicy in the thighs, and some of my pants have been rubbing together, and like I have holes in them. And I was telling him, I was like, you know, I'm running out of pants, and now I don't have a lot of money, so I don't have a lot of money to like go buy new pants. And he says to me, he's like, that's crazy. It's crazy that someone who is as talented as you and has so much skill as you has to be dealing with like not having enough money to buy new jeans. And this is what I'm getting at here, Gemini, right? It's crazy that someone with our talents, it's crazy with someone with our skills, with our charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. For my RuPaul Drag Race fans out there, we've had all that charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, and we're like, why? Why am I working where I'm not getting paid up to my skill level? Why am I in relationships, I don't think most of us are dealing with bad relationships right now. I think most of the part what we're looking at so far in this reading, Gemini, is career and money, but it could be anything, right? Because it's a general reading. So whatever it is that has been, you're now awake to the fact that you've been living in a sort of substandard way. It's like, you know what Mean Girls, they're like, you can't sit with us. Like, for a while we were letting everybody sit with us, and now Gemini, we're like, no, we're the pretty girls, you can't sit with us anymore. This is why this is why people hate Geminis. Also why they love us. But it's shit like what I just said. We're the pretty girls, you can't sit with us. I can't. So Gemini, here we have the usually first quarter moon, but now it's in reverse, so it's the last quarter moon, right? The moon is moving into a period of darkness. So what's happening again is like going into the month, we are releasing so much. We're saying, done with that, done with you, done with this nonsense, over it, tired of it. Like the things that once fulfilled us, the things that once were necessary, let's say, right? Like, so let's not beat ourselves up too much. We were doing things, we were in places that were necessary for us at the time. We took that job because we just needed a job, right? We put ourselves in this situation just because we needed it at the time. So like, this isn't necessarily negative, but it's cyclical, right? With the moon, so like we're moving into this moon is gravitating towards the new moon, towards total darkness, where we get to start over, right? We have a new moon at the end of the month where we get to start over. And right now in the beginning of September, guys, we know that that's happening. We know that we're having this opportunity for freshness. We're having this opportunity, I think it should be a new moon in Virgo, right? So we have this opportunity to start brand new, to start fresh. Virgo is all about cultivating, like you smell the fresh earth and like the freshly picked flowers, and it smells lovely. In the beginning of the month, guys, we're moving away from it. We're starting to make the moves that we need to realize, like, you know, you weren't bad, you were good for me for when I needed, but now it's like I need better, right? It's not saying that something is, you know, beneath you, but it's just behind you, right? Not beneath, but behind. That fucking fly. I've been trying to save money on air conditioner and like opening the windows, and now all these flies got into my house. Gemini, what did I say about connecting to our passions and connecting to our dreams? Now we have the Knight of Cups. So guys, this is a supercharged month for making dreams happen. I think that a lot of Geminis are feeling love. And if you're not in a romantic relationship, you're feeling connected to other sources of love, right? Unconditional love that comes from family, that comes from close friends. This is a month, guys, where of course if you're in a relationship, that shit's gonna be popping this month. So much love and affection and comfort and connection. So much positivity of emotion. But what this is, guys, more to me, is leaps and bounds in making our dreams a reality. The Knight of Cups to me is always an indication that we're moving in the direction of our dreams. What did I say from the start, right? Moving in the direction of our dreams, we're connecting to the things that animate us, right? The cups are the parts of life that color it with meaning, color it with purpose. And now we're finding purpose. And look, in the middle of the reading, we have a row here like this, right? We were connecting to our purpose. We were stuck. We were still. We weren't making as much money as we should have. We weren't like having as much fun as we thought we were going to, or we maybe let go of our good habits and our good routines and working out and all that stuff, right? Taking the thighs. But look at what we did. Now it's moving us to a place where now we're connected. You see? We're connected again to ourselves, to our pure selves, to our realest selves, to our truest self. And with the Knights, we're going in motion. We are moving. We're not just dreaming. We're acting. Gemini, September is going to be a month where you're going to see the results of your work like big time. You're going to get validation. You're going to get those subscribers. You're going to get those views. You're going to get those job interviews. You're going to get people interested, people drawn to you again, people magnetic, people who want to, like, it's almost like this guy's just holding up his cup, like he's gonna just ride along the beach and people are just gonna fill that shit as he goes. Sorry again for the swearing. Some people really hate when I swear, so I try to be, but you know, it's just like walking about, like expecting it, just like filling his cup. You know, it's like when someone's running a marathon and people like give them water and stuff as they go. It's like you can just hold your hand out this month, Gemini, and receive blessings, receive abundance. There's so much abundance here. And I think it is going to be partly financial, but you're not gonna it's not gonna be the focus. It's going to be on the actual building of what's going to bring long-term abundance. You know, I forget what it's called, but there's this thing where the more you focus on something, the more you get away from it, right? So people who want to be really rich, no matter how much money you get, you don't feel rich because, like, by desiring it, it's almost like reaffirming to yourself that you don't have it. So my point in bringing that up here is, like, we're not focusing on necessarily the money. We're focusing on the things that are going to bring us the money in the long term, right? We're focusing on building our skill set. We're focusing on educating ourselves. We're focusing on networking. We're focusing on advertising. We're focusing on those things that in the long term are going to build just like this massive wave of abundance for us. See what I had said? What I had said. Rounding out this reading, Gemini, we have the Empress. Can you say abundance? Can you say just receiving? But the importance here, I'm thinking of Venus and Virgo, Gemini, right? And the importance here is because this is card ruled by Venus, so it's important for you to be focused on the details. It's important for you to be focused on the practicality of the actual work. I said this last month in Leo's reading, and I think it's important now for this card, the way it's coming up, is that we only see the star on stage, right? We only see the glory. We only see the applause. We only see the perfectly executed performance. But what we don't see are the hours and hours and hours of practice, the years of hustle that led to that one beautiful moment. And so, Gemini, this month is about focusing on the details, doing the work, right? Doing the work. And guys, I just think September is such a beautiful month of love and connection. I mean, here, like, we have two cards here now in the month of September of just love and passion. And feeling now really, you see, it's interesting here how we started out with the Four of Pentacles in reverse, which is like, don't sit still, move, take risks, do something. And then now we have the security. The security of, like, knowing that we've been doing the right thing. The security of knowing we're getting validation, that we're moving in the right direction of our dreams. There's that song by Gossip, so I hold back tears, move in the right direction. Like, it's all about just moving in the right direction. I face my fears, move in the right direction. Sorry for that. Gemini, at the bottom of the deck is the Three of Swords, so what did I say? We've been going through it. So we often think about two things with this card, right? The heartache that is there, but also, like, the way we have disconnect between head and heart. Right? Like, we've been confused. We've been like, we don't even know. Like, I thought I knew. It's so funny. I was just going to say, I've been having this feeling the past few months where it's like, I was like, I thought I always knew. Like, I always felt good about knowing what I wanted. I always felt good about knowing the direction I was going in. I always felt like I knew what I wanted out of life. And the past few months made me feel like I don't know anymore. But that's not true. It was an illusion, right? Hangman is Neptune. It's illusion. Necessary illusion that taught us something, but it was still illusion. Guys, we know what we want. We've always known what we want. We've always known what we're about. We've always known who we are. We've always known what our passions were. And now in September, we're reminded of those things. Outcome for the month is the Eight of Swords. This came up for Virgo too, I think. So there's a lot of interplay this month between the Gemini reading and the Virgo reading. Probably because Mercury is like, wee, free again. But Eight of Swords, you know, first of all, obviously it comes with a caveat, right? You're only able to achieve what you believe you can. So Gemini, this month is a time to stretch the imagination. This month is a time to be aware of the ways where you say, I'm going to try that. And then you're like, no, maybe I'm not qualified. Like, fuck that. This month we're just doing it. We're trying, right? Our imagination can go as far as we wanted to. But also I think, Gemini, this is a good time to sort of trust ourselves, right? With the Eight of Swords like this, we are sort of blocking out, we are sort of like blocking things out, but we're also like going within. We're sort of like not checking for what other people are doing. We're in our own lane, right? This is somebody who just like is in their room doing their thing, not even like barely paying attention to what other people are doing. Maybe looking and seeing, but not like defining ourselves by what other people are doing, right? We're in our own lane this month, Gemini. We're manifesting our own destiny. We're manifesting our truest version of ourselves. If you're a Gemini looking for love, this is the time to take risks. This is a time to put yourself out there. This is a time to flirt. This is a time to send that DM. You know what I'm saying? Slide up into that DM, Gemini. Swipe left or right or whatever it is. I don't know Tinder, but because it's there. There's possibility for love. There's possibility for just good feelings is what I feel, right? Whether or not you end up in a relationship, if you're a single Gemini, there's just good feelings surrounding yourself and surrounding your creativity and your passion and your sexuality and your attractiveness. Like, this is a month, Gemini, where I think we start to feel our attractiveness in a big way, right? In a way that's just like, we don't have to force it, we don't have to try hard, we're just there. What's that Lizzo line? I was born this way, don't even gotta try. That's us. This came up last month, I think, too, Gemini. Silence. Silence. Silence of the mind. Silence of the thoughts. Like, this is a month for clarity. I know in September I'm doing Sober September. Perfect, right? Because it's no distractions. Because I have to sit with my own thoughts. I can't drink, I can't go out and party, I can't do all those things. We're getting silent, we're meditating, we're reflecting, we're planning, we're being thoughtful, we're being strategic, we're being methodical. And in the silence we get back in touch with the simplicity of who we are. We get back in touch with the simplicity of what we love. Right, Gemini, I just need to say, like, we are so pure in our intentions. We are so pure in who we are and what we're about. Right? People call us fake, but I actually think that sometimes we're just like honest to a fault. And this month, Gemini, we get back to that. We get back to who we are. We stop being confused. We stop letting other people inform who we are. We stop letting other like outside forces determine who we are. Like, this Eight of Swords is like a wall that's like, no, your thoughts can't get in here. Your fuckery, you can't get in here. Your negativity is not going to break down this wall. I am in a place where I am connected to my thoughts. I am a place where I'm connected to myself. I know what I need. I know what I need to do. And that's it. Alright, Gemini, it's going to be a great month. I love you guys so much. Take care. Talk to you soon.